Alright, for this next one, we got our boy Jamari, the end of Salt Bae. See what's up.
So over the years online, there have been thousands of memes that have come and gone. And while some remain timeless relics in internet history, others do not pass the test of time and kind of fade out to never really be used again. Yes, the lifespan of a meme can be days, months, years, or even decades. But even more interesting to me though, is when someone becomes a full-blown living meme.
My name is András Arato, but people might know me as Hydroplane Harold.
Or at least creates a career off of going viral. You have people who have become full-blown comedians with strong fan bases off of one video. Of course you have your walkthroughs and the Catch Me Outside girls of the world. But one of the more annoying people to go viral off of their meme was this guy Salt Bae back in 2017, who started popping off after he went viral for his methods of salting a steak. I feel like this was something that the dumb
I do. Like, anything, boy, anything. It's just if the right people see it.
This person you know found absolutely hilarious. You know, a real genius like me could not understand the appeal of his little party trick, but I digress. You know, I guess I just don't want the salt bouncing off that dirty ass elbow before it touches my food.
I make a video. Our waiter, I ask him, can you take a picture and video for me? I make one big tomahawk. And then I cut, very nice, and then I put the salt, you know, with the sun, you know, like a rain, like a snow.
Now either way, this meme took the world
What
by
in
storm
the
with
world?
SNL skits. You had people doing celebrations of touchdowns with this. You had others dressing up as this guy for Halloween, cosplaying
You telling me people dressed up as this dude for Halloween? What?
as the Salt Bae.
In Turkey, this is how you pour your salt on.
We have a man who became a billionaire from salt.
Yes.
From salt. You can
He ain't no billionaire, is he? We're back over here where he was saying he's a billionaire.
put salt on. He did it the best. Bam.
And soon after all this commotion, Salt Bae would capitalize on this and continue going viral by putting his meat into his customers' mouths all across the country. You know, I don't know about you guys, but to me this all has the same energy as the guys who be going to town at the hibachi. Yes, chef, shoot it in my mouth, please. Like, what the fuck are you doing, son? To me, this shit is Diddy coded all day. In fact, in doing research for this video, I found various instances of him hanging out with Diddy, getting shoutouts from him.
Shout out, this your boy Puff Daddy. I'm here with my brother Salt Bae. He's sprinkling us with that flavor. Man, the man has finesse, style, and he's a genius at what he does. He's a one-on-one. Yes.
What the heck?
To my brother Salt Bae. Yeah. My brother Salt Bae.
And he was apparently even in one of his commercials.
Blue Dot is about love, celebration.
I mean, don't tell me that these guys didn't hit at least one steak with that baby oil salts combo. And this guy would get real disrespectful with this shit. It's not like a fun little trick where your dog catches food in their mouth. Hell no, he was putting his meat in various women's mouths in a very sexual manner, all while their husband was picking up the tab. I even found this video where the guy made it very clear that shit was not going to happen. He would not be going down like Adam 22.
Went to Salt Bae's restaurant, and my fiancé was not going to let that man feed me.
He said, get that up out of here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, regardless of how I feel, the Salt Bae is apparently a very successful person who comes from extremely humble beginnings. His father was a mine worker and he grew up in this 2-bedroom home with no electricity or running water. Dropping out of school at 13, he became an apprentice to a butcher and the rest is really history. Opening numerous steakhouses since 2010, of course going viral, and amassing a very large personal fortune in the tens of millions of dollars. At his restaurant, people were regularly paying thousands of dollars for these golden steaks, And if that shit
Oh
does
my
not scream,
goodness.
I love social media validation, and it controls my mind, I don't know what does.
Cappuccino! It's crazy when you think
Ah! What? People really eating gold.
somebody has spent 615,000 dirhams on food at your restaurant.
Oh my!
How does it make you feel?
Make me feel very happy.
Why is it so expensive?
We are not expensive.
What?
This is, perception, not reality.
In general, I feel like these trendy spots that people like to go, I always leave wondering why the fuck I just spent $200 to $300 on a very mid dinner. It's like when I went to Hell's Kitchen, the risotto was cold. I was looking around like, where the fuck is Gordon Ramsay when I need him? Well, at least I can get a shirt that tells me to piss off after he runs my pockets with a $30 beer. Either way, a couple of years back I talked about how Salt Bae is always clout hungry since he got his first taste of fame. And he actually caught
Oh, why he drew? That boy was hungry for that
World
boy.
Cup back in 2022.
Think about it. Yeah. Well, you think if he plays in MLS for the next 3 years, there's a World Cup in the States. Right there. They come asking.
And with Messi being one of the most
Why
famous
still
people on the
grabbing on?
planet, it obviously got a lot of attention when he was ignoring Salt Bae. Because basically he took the biggest moment in these guys' lives and tried to make it about himself. And some of these photos were just downright ridiculous. Also keep in mind, with him being from Turkey, he really had no connection to Argentina who won that year. And weeks before this all went down, he was sucking off Ronaldo on Instagram, and then he was out here on the pitch begging Messi for a picture. But the guy was simply
Hilarious.
clout chasing and everyone knew it, and this motherfucker really thought that he was
Hey, he got his moment though.
part of the team.
Why did you go onto the World Cup pitch after the final, touch the World Cup, and kiss the World Cup? What were you thinking?
I love Argentina, I love football. And this is the accident. My mistake. Before I don't know the rules. Now,
Now wait a minute. I feel like you know the rules. If you watch soccer like that, I feel like you know the rules.
I know the rules.
Of course, after the clips went viral, this got him banned from several future events. And I feel like it kind of
From
stuck a
Rolling Loud.
fork in the whole Salt Bae movement, or at least so we thought. Now, before we get into the current day demise of Salt Bae, after all those people stopped purchasing those overpriced steaks, I want to tell you guys about a great purchase you can make with the sponsor of today's video. So every day around 5 p.m. this yellow dog is fat for in the pad. And it's
I ain't got a
to try
dog.
much as mine. Now
Our best year.
So that was a fucking lie.
the last 2.5
Our best year. 2025, I think our best year.
So that was a fucking lie.
Now, the last 2.5 years, Salt Bae has been trying to keep his relevance hanging on by a thread. The guy has to have spent a fortune purchasing the most fake followers I've ever seen. Like, yes, he was viral, but I do not really see a world where he could amass 52 million followers. He's also still been trying to show up to events, including a Champions League after party, where he was promptly removed because, honestly, who gives a damn about the Salt Bae? They knew he was just there to chase clout.
Dang. Dang.
This was the first time he had gone viral since the World Cup incident, and obviously after that one was so publicly an issue, people really don't seem to want this guy around. It just feels like one of those things where he thinks he's much more important than he truly is to other people. He did try to save face in this situation, acting like he just so happened to be waiting around near this entrance to this high-profile party, claiming that there were thousands of other people who wanted to see him and not these other celebrities, and that he was really just there to sign autographs and take pictures with his apparent fans, even going as far as to claim that this clip of him and his friends clearly being denied access to this party was apparently created by AI. I mean, talk about an absolutely pathetic excuse.
This dude really think we dumb.
Like, yes,
What?
AI has gotten a little bit more realistic in recent times, but this shit was obviously 100% real. Like, is that gonna be the new excuse people use when bad shit comes out
Yeah.
about them? Is
Yeah.
that like the new version of, oh, I got hacked?
You love this. That's why you make videos all the time now?
Now very important. Everybody waiting.
Now, beyond people being tired of his 8-year-old shtick, the man's business has also taken a turn for the worst. For instance, at one time his London steakhouse was doing well over $13 million in revenue per year, but that
Dang.
number has now slowed to just $2.2 million. This is a loss of revenue by over 80% in just 3 years, and that number has been steadily declining by almost 50% year over year, which is typically a clear indication that a business is dying rapidly. Now, whether this was a side effect of a bad global economy, or his flame is just finally burning out, we do not really know, but it's likely a combination of several things. Most likely the fact that people finally realized that it's fucking stupid to spend $1,500 on a steak to wrap in sheets of gold that costs nothing. Like, even the experience itself with this little man feeding his meat into your mouth was always dumb. Still, Salt Bae has been trying to save face by changing the pricing on his menu and apparently dedicating himself to making his business go green. But this has all obviously not been working, with some former staff members even alleging that this guy was stealing their tips to try and help save his bottom line. He also had other allegations of various discrimination, and it was also rumored that even when he was doing well, making all this money off his overpriced steaks, he was still paying highly skilled staff only a little bit more than minimum wage. And now it has actually been announced that Salt Bae would be closing down several of his restaurants, including the location in Los Angeles as well as Las Vegas. And this adds to a longer list of failed ventures from Dallas to a New York City burger joints, as well as a restaurant in Boston that have all closed this last year.
You opened here in New York. Why was this the next city that you wanted to open in?
New York is center of the world. If you success in New York, all over the world success.
To me, this is a clear indication that his brand is pretty much dead, and no matter how hard he tries to revive it and make it look like it's all good, that is simply not the reality. I mean, it's truly amazing to me how someone who starts out so humble can turn into such a clout chaser. And you would think that coming from nothing, he would provide more for his staff and not be allegedly stealing these tips. But honestly, this guy seems like a pretty self-involved jerk to me, and someone who is definitely not worthy of online fame. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this Salt Bae update down below. But as always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. Y'all make sure to check out the sponsor of today's video, Sundays for Dogs. And as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other living meme crash outs out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace.
He's sprinkling us with that flavor. Man, the man has finesse, style, and he's a genius at what he does. He's a one-of-one. Yes.
That dude just got off.